Hey everybody, thanks for stopping in. I am going to do a recap video of all of the TTM questions I've been sending out. I have a couple dozen here. Just been spending time on the old interwebs, throwing stuff together, and I hope you like it. There are Hall of Famers, soccer players, football players, baseball players, NASCAR guys, musicians. So it's a fun group, I think. No hockey players again. I still need to get some hockey cards out. But these are the questions that I sent along with my TTM cards, hoping that not only do I get a card signed in return, I also get a question or two signed as well. So I hope you like the mix, and stay tuned. Geoff Bodine's a NASCAR driver, and I asked him, what has been your favorite street car? And he said a 1970 Superbird. Here's a sweet one. I asked Hall of Fame basketball coach Bob Hurley, who was the most talented high school player that you coached? He said Kyle Anderson, most versatile, 65-0 as a starter. Here's Kyle on the Spurs. I asked Steve Jordan, what was your favorite play or route to run? He said a shake route down the middle of a 2 deep or a corner route versus 3 deep.
Second and 10. Bullet. First down at the 27-yard line to Steve.
But notice number 83, Jordan. Notice he releases outside. There's no one over him, so he has a free rein. Now he goes down. He reads the coverage and just simply turns inside. Kramer reads it and gets him the football. But
Rich Carlos was a longtime place kicker in the NFL, and I asked him, what city was your favorite to travel to for away games? San Diego. I also asked, you played with some amazing athletes. Were there any that were really impressive? He responded, Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson. 2 no-brainers. Karen Jennings is a soccer player on the U.S. women's national team and was also on our Olympic team. She was in the World Cup 91 and 95 and the 96 Olympics. She's actually also in the Hall of Fame. I asked her, who was the biggest joker? And she said, Julie Foudy. Here's a picture of Julie. Alvin Hall was a safety in the NFL, and I asked him, before football, what did you want to be when you grew up? He said a fireman. I also asked, what's your favorite sports movie? Waterboy.
I want you to do to Casey what Captain Insano does to the bad guy. Go. He poked me in the eye.
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
I asked NASCAR Hall of Fame driver Bobby Allison, what was your first car? A 1938 Chevy Coupe. I also asked, what has been your favorite personal vehicle? He said a 2014 Buick 4-door and an 88 Buick Regal. Here's a 38 Coupe. And here's a 14 Buick Regal sedan. Not sure if this is the one he was talking about. And an 88 Regal. I asked NFL running back Mark Van Egan, do you ever wear your championship rings? He responded, not very often. Usually when I go to speaking engagements, people often ask to see them. They are so big and showy that I don't feel comfortable most of the time. Crew chief and television analyst Tim Brewer was asked, what makes a great crew chief? Hard work. I asked Megadeth bassist David Elfson, what is a newer band musician that you're enjoying? And he said Ghost and Death. I asked Loren Toews, a linebacker with the Steelers and 4-time Super Bowl champ, a couple questions, but he did answer one. Do you have a favorite sports movie? The Natural.
My dad wanted me to be a baseball player.
You're better than anyone I ever had. And you're the best goddamn hitter I ever saw. Suit up.
I asked Olympic wrestler Kyle Snyder a couple questions. At what age did you start wrestling? 5 years old. And what drew you to the sport? And he responded, my pop wrestled.
Snyder held on to become the youngest ever wrestler from the USA to win Olympic gold. Albert Saritov of Romania and Magomed Idrisovich Ibragimov of Uzbekistan won the bronze medals. Ketag Gozyumov of Azerbaijan took silver, and gold was won by Kyle Frederick Snyder of the USA.
I asked wide receiver Tim McGee, did you save any of your touchdown balls? Yes. Carla Overbeck was on the U.S. women's national team and on the Olympic team. I asked her, what was the best all-around team you played on? Her response, 1999 World Cup team. Here they are. Lenny Wilkins was both a very accomplished NBA basketball player and coach. I asked him, are you more proud of your accomplishments as a player or a coach? And his response, both. I asked Dan Shays, who had the greatest nickname? Magic. I asked Jim Richer, is there one coach or trainer that stands out as someone who positively impacted your game? His response, Coach Jim Ringo and Coach Marv Levy. There's Jim and Marv. Delaney Rudd played all over, including France, and I asked him, what did you enjoy most about living in France? His response, the French lifestyle was great. Restaurants were great. As a player, my fans were super also. Tom Holmoe played in the NFL with the San Francisco 49ers, where he won 4 Super Bowl championships. He also coached in the NCAA and is currently the AD at BYU. I asked him, who has been the most exciting athlete to watch in BYU athletics since your time as AD? His response, there are a lot, but if I had to choose one, it would be Taysom Hill. Here he is. I asked musician Gary U.S. Bonds, was there someone in your life who really pushed you to pursue a career in music? And he said, my mom, Irene Anderson, a music lover and teacher. Linda Hamilton was also on the U.S. women's national team. I asked her, who was the most talented player with whom you played? Her response, Michelle Akers and Christine Lilly. 2 great ones. Here's Michelle and Christine. I asked Del Curry, before basketball, what did you want to be when you grew up? His response, a police officer. Pro Bowl linebacker Lance Mel answered a couple questions. I asked, what was your first job? His response, underground coal miner. I asked, outside of football, what was your favorite job? He said, worked with juvenile delinquents for 20 years through our county juvenile court. Pretty interesting. Bob Weiss also responded to a question. I asked him, you've played and coached all over the world. Where is your favorite city to visit and or live? He said, coaching in China was fun, and I like San Francisco. All right, well, that was it. I hope you really enjoyed it. I'll start saving up my questions for the next one. So maybe in the next month or so, I can throw another video together. Thanks so much for all your support and checking out our videos. They're good nerds. Really appreciate you. Take care. Bye.